What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the G Show. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about why you should not argue with flight attendants. So recently, in the past few weeks, it's been a few stories with celebrities getting into it with flight attendants getting kicked off. They just happen to all be black. Just a disclaimer. And the airlines all happen to be from American Airlines. Now, let's just get into it. The three celebrities I'm speaking of is Odell Beckham. His situation happened back in November, but the footage was just released recently, like last week. So we got to see what happened there. Sha'Carri Richardson, this was the second time I saw her footage. I just viewed it, and then somebody had made mention of Talib Kweli. I'm sorry if I pronounced his name wrong, a hip-hop artist. And I just went and saw his video. I didn't see the on footage. I just heard his version. So let's go through all of them, because it's always amazing to me when people get kicked off the planes, especially when it's considering something not being violent. I just feel like it's like a huge inconvenience to delay the flight, get kicked off a flight, have to wait for another flight. So I'll really be listening to understand what happened. And every time I listen, it really seems like things that can just be de-escalated if people would just not be so much on getting their point across. So I have the Sha'Carri Richardson, as you can see here. You see OBG comment, and he says, "Tell me you got kicked off the American flight for no reason." Now let's go to his situation. I watched his whole video. It was like a 29-minute video. I watched the whole damn thing. It appears, from what I can understand, it appears his whole situation was over the seatbelt not being buckled and him not responding because he was very tired. He was asleep. Okay. The first thing I do when I get on a plane, after I wipe off my seat, is I put my seatbelt on. It's the easiest thing to do. Why do I do that? It's been times where I have fallen asleep before the flight even takes off because I'm just tired. Or I know I'm going to put my headphones on and be dozing in and out of consciousness. You know they're not going to let you fly without the seatbelt on. You already know. You know they check down the aisle like 3 times for it. Just put it on. It doesn't have to be super tight. Oftentimes my seatbelt is loose, but it's buckled. That is not a difficult thing to do. Like, as soon as you sit in your seat, get your seatbelt and just buckle it. That is so easy. I don't understand why that's difficult, especially if you know you're tired. You know, in his situation, he said that they didn't wake him up. They said they did try to wake him up. You know, when it comes to the attendants in the air, you know, they unfortunately do have the control. They're in the air. The pilot's going to go with their crew. They're not going to believe a random stranger. They're not going to even come out and talk to you. Why would they? They have other things on their mind that's way more important than a minor argument with one passenger when you have like 300 on the plane. So of course, if the flight attendant says that you're causing a problem, they don't feel comfortable flying with you, you're gone. It's an unfortunate situation. That's why I don't see there's no need to even argue back with these folks. So in his situation, that could have all been avoided if he would just put a seatbelt on as soon as he got on the plane, and he could have fallen asleep. Everything would have been fine. Now, they did try to bring up other things, but he didn't have on the pants and all this other stuff. He had on pants. I don't know where all this other extra stuff coming from. You can clearly tell she was on the trip, but all flight attendants are, I'm not going to say all, but you know, flight attendants can be on a power trip. You know how some people get in their job roles on a power trip. You just got to play the game with them. Just be smart with the situation. Now, with the Talib Kweli situation, from what he explained in his portion of the video, like I said, I didn't see a video of them on the plane going through anything. He just told his part where he was back off the plane in the airport. It was something about his bag. The flight attendant called the supervisor over. The supervisor gave the okay on the bag. Then Talib let the flight attendant know that he felt he was rude, in which the flight attendant then went, I guess, told the pilots he didn't feel comfortable. Then they, I guess, took people off the plane, and police came, and they agreed with him, but he still had to get off the plane because the flight attendant didn't feel comfortable. It's that simple. It's no doubt, yeah, I'm sure the flight attendants aren't being rude, but just ignore them. Sha'Carri said the same thing in her situation about the flight attendant being rude. Just ignore these folks. Just ignore these folks. If the supervisor say your bag is good, just, you know, I know people want to, I know you want to say something back. I know, but you got to understand, with the flight attendants, if they say, they don't feel comfortable with you, they got the power, unfortunately, get you off the plane. Because they are the crew at the end of the day. If they don't feel comfortable with you, you think they're going to leave you on the plane? No, they're going to kick you off the plane. They still have 300 other people to fly. So, yes, you're going to get off the plane. They're not going to, the show is not going to stop for you. It doesn't matter who you are. Especially if you're, now these are happening with celebrities that got money. If you a regular degular, don't try this shit. Do not try this. You see how it's working out. They do not care. Which of course in the grand scheme of things, that all makes sense. So now Sha'Carri Richardson's situation, I think something happened before, because she was recording, talking about, not a good flight day or whatever, and then she said he jumps in the video, but it seems like she turns the camera around. He tells her to stop recording or whatever. She's like, no, I'm going to keep recording. Now you're harassing me. Now, the fact that she said, I think you should stop because now you're harassing me. So that lets me know that something occurred before this. As of right now, with the information I have right now, I don't know what happened before this. She didn't show that, or the clips, the social media that I looked at, they did not show that. So I don't know what happened before. However, she going back and forth with him. Then you hear people responding around, because she's like, you see that, right? And you hear people responding, and somebody tell her, they cuss at her, another passenger, and then like it's a whole thing, because people, you already know how flying is. And then especially if a flight's been delayed or it's been a long travel day, like you trying to get home, it's already a fact, you just got to be in the air. Like people will just be on edge. Not that they should be jumping in with some stuff that don't got nothing to do with her, but of course, we already know what it was. They saw her appearance or whatever and tried to judge and just assume that she was automatically wrong. And that's just the unfortunate thing in life that Black people have to go through. They should have minded their own damn business. But my thing also is, like, I wouldn't even went back and forth with him. He said stop recording. Just ignore him. You can keep recording, but just ignore him. Just ignore him. Let him think you thought recording. Let him think whatever he wants to think. You got your seatbelt on. You're buckled in. You're paying attention. Whatever. Now, if you're not paying attention, you buckled in. Whatever. You can have your phone on. Airplane mode. Whatever. Wi-Fi still works. Recording still works. Just, I would either say okay, or if you're like me, just ignore. I probably would have said okay, because I'm just a de-escalating type of person. Like, just come on. But just ignore. Simple as that. Like, all you have to do is just ignore the situation and proceed to go on about your day. But now you're going back and forth, like, no, I'm not going to start recording. No, I'm not going to start recording. Like, now you're going back and forth. Now they're going to take that as being hostile, or whatever the fuck they're going to take it as, unfortunately. And now they're going to say they want you off the plane. And at the end of the day, that's what ended up happening, is you have to get off the plane. I just feel there is no winning. I understand that, people want to be right. And I know it sucks when you feel you haven't did anything wrong and you want to, you want to explain that. You want to feel like, why, you're bothering me. I haven't did anything wrong, but sometimes you just got to choose your battles wisely. And I would say being on an airplane is not a good time to get into a battle with the flight attendant, because unfortunately the flight attendant has the advantage there and will always have the advantage. All they got to do is say she was talking about the pilot, like the pilot said you got to get off, and she talking about, I want the pilot to come out. The pilot's not coming out, guys. The pilot's not. If it's 300 people on the plane, the pilot's not going to come out for one person, because to hear an argument over their coworker that is part of their flight crew and think they're going to take your word over their flight attendant at the end of the day. They might deal with it afterwards, but at the time that a flight is supposed to be leaving, they are not finna deal with that at that moment right now. So my thing is, stop fighting with these flight attendants. Ignore them. Trust me, ignoring people gets people way more upset than trying to go back and forth. Just ignore them. The silent treatment is an excellent tactic. Do not argue with these flight attendants. Just put your seatbelt on, put your headphones on, and just take a nap, and just be courteous to people around you. Subscribe if you haven't already. Till next time, later.